Go live to London now. Joining us is the Sky News host, Laura Jays. Laura, good evening. Where you are, you have covered so much of Boris Johnson's journey in the UK, and in the end, his fall was just as spectacular as his rise, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was, Pete. That's a really good way to put it. And he's certainly one of a kind. I don't think there'll ever be another Boris Johnson. They certainly broke the mould when they broke him. But it's been quite a bruising day for him. Not many of his colleagues have much good to say about him, questioning his beliefs, his legacy, his conduct, and even trying to hold on to power for as long as he could. I mean, his colleagues have variously described him as dishonest, reckless, rudderless in the last couple of days. And look, it's been quite a bruising experience. It's been unedifying for him, really, because I think the only way he was ever going to leave office was to be blasted out. So when you see those 50 or 60 resignation letters, they were visceral. They were eviscerating him, I should say, calling him all kinds of things. And these are once former colleagues, people that believed in him, believed in his Brexit campaign, but it all came crashing down today. Look, I do think history will be a little bit kinder to Boris Johnson with time, because he did lead the UK through arguably its toughest period post-war. That is COVID and, of course, Brexit, something he championed.
Yeah, and just a final note on, Australians might be wondering what this might mean for us. Boris Johnson was very pro-Australian, wasn't he? So there may be a bit of a setback there for us with Boris Johnson's demise.
Well, what's the most difficult thing at the moment? It is there's no clear successor here. It's a Melbourne Cup field of candidates. And yes, there are other candidates there would certainly be being seen as friendly to Australia. Liz Truss, the foreign minister, being one of those. But there are other candidates like Rishi Sunak, others, Pete, to be quite frank, no one in Australia would ever have heard of. But this is the tough part now. Boris Johnson has resigned. He's done the big media conference. He was outside number 10. I hear he's having a party tomorrow night with all of his supporters. But essentially, he is the lamest of lame duck prime ministers. He needs to remain, or he at least wants to remain where he is until the Conservative Party elects a new leader. Now, the process for that set out by the 1922 committee, there's a lot of convention here, as you can imagine. That is not due to happen for 3 or 4 months. So he wants to stay until autumn, which is October. That would seem untenable to me at this point, given the level of anger I've seen here. So it's up to the 1922 committee and the party to decide now the process. They would want it done in a couple of weeks, but it's the membership. It's the 100,000 members of the Conservative Party, the base as we like to describe them, that will decide the new leader. And then, an election's not far away. So you can imagine Labor opposition at the moment in Keir Starmer saying, well, we should have an election now. Pete, as I mentioned to you before, we've seen a few prime ministers in Australia in our time be rolled in such a way. The playbook is remarkably similar over the other side of the world.
Laura Jays there, live for us on a day for the history books in the UK. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you again soon.